Hey people, I welcome you back to Caroline's Online Academy. This is another video in which we are solving previous year questions and sample question paper questions from the chapter Dissolution of Partnership Firms. And currently we are solving journal entry based problems. That is questions in which they ask you to prepare the journal entries. I have a sample question paper problem for you here. As I told you, sample question paper problems usually teach you concepts. And this question teaches you concepts with respect to repayment of partner's loan and loan to partner. So we have Charu, Dhwani, Iknoor, and Pavni, who were partners in a firm. They had entered into partnership firm last year only through a verbal agreement. They contributed capitals in the firm to meet other financial requirements. Few partners also provided loan to the firm. Within a year, their conflicts arisen due to certain disagreements, and they decided to dissolve the firm. The firm had firm had appointed Ms. Kavya, who's a financial advisor and a legal consultant, to carry on the dissolution process. In the first instance, Ms. Kavya had transferred various assets and external liabilities to realization account. Okay, so assets and liabilities have been transferred to realization account. And due to her busy schedule, Ms. Kavya had delegated this assignment to you. Wow, I feel so proud. On the date of dissolution, you had observed the following transactions. Other than what I'm highlighting or what I'm making bold, my dear children, why? Yeah. Okay. Other than what I'm making red, I believe. Nothing else. Nothing else is important, my dear children. The only sentence that is important is Kavya has transferred the assets and liabilities to realization account. This is carrying with all the English and all. Okay, don't get scared when you see a big paragraph. Most of this would be useless. All right, let's go ahead and solve the problem. Dhwani's loan of 50,000 rupees to the firm, which means Dhwani has given loan to the firm, was settled by paying 42,000 rupees. So Dhwani had given loan to the firm and it was settled by paying 42,000 rupees. So Dhwani's loan account will be debited. Now, why are we debiting the Dhwani's loan account? Because Dhwani's loan account is a liability account. And liability, you're settling the liability. You're going to pay the liability. When you pay the liability, liability reduces and therefore you debit it. Now, why is Dhwani's loan not in realization account? Loan to partner and loan from partner will not go to realization account. Understood or not, my children? This is a loan from partner. It will not go to realization account. It will be settled outside realization account. The reason being, in realization account, only the third party liabilities are settled, as third party liabilities are ranked higher in the order of repayment when it comes to settlement of liabilities in dissolution or any other business liquidation or any other closing of the business process. First, we pay the third party liabilities, and if there is anything left, then the partner's loan is paid. Understood or not? So Dhwani's loan is a liability. It has not been transferred to realization account, and therefore it is irrespective of whether all the other assets have been transferred to realization account or not. When you are paying back the partner's loan, the journal entries, partner's loan account debit 50,000 to bank account. Bank account is credited because bank is an asset and it is reducing, and therefore we're crediting. So bank account is credited 42,000. We're only paying 42,000. We actually have a gain from this transaction to the extent of 8,000. Any profit will be credited to nominal account, and the only nominal account that is available during realization is during dissolution is realization account. So realization account will be credited. Dhwani's loan repaid. I don't put in a lot of efforts into narration, my dear children. I strongly recommend that you follow the book for the narration, because I don't know, some teachers might pay attention to that, in order to give you, if it comes when it comes to the question of sentence and all, actually narration should be something related to the journal entry. That should be enough. But some teachers might put emphasis on that. So you better take the book narration and write it. Okay? Pavni's loan of 40,000 was settled by giving an unrecorded asset of 45,000. So an unrecorded asset of 45,000 had been given up to Pavni for settling a loan of 40,000. So first, Pavni's loan will be debited because it's a liability. So Pavni's loan account debit 40,000. Now this unrecorded asset is going out for 45,000. The value of the unrecorded asset is 45,000. So should we credit 45,000 here? No, my dear children. It does not matter how much the unrecorded asset was. Okay. As far as we are concerned, we are giving up an asset for 45,000, and so the asset has realized 40,000 only. 45,000 rupees is the value of the asset, but it is only helping us to settle a liability of 40,000. So what does the asset actually realize? It has only realized 40,000 rupees for us. And when you realize assets, realization account will be debited, my dear children, because all the assets unrecorded, recorded, everything has already been transferred to realization account. So realization account will be debited. Understood or not? Pavni's loan settled. I hope you got this, my dear children. All right, moving on to the next transaction. Before that, let me just check Pavni's loan once. I don't want to give you wrong information. Yeah, Pavni's loan to realization account 40,000. So when you're giving up an asset against partner's loan, when for the asset going out, you have to credit realization account, and the partner's loan, which is a liability that is reducing, therefore you debit Pavni's loan, the partner's loan account. And the third one is loan to Charu was settled by payment to Charu's brother's loan of the same amount. Loan to Charu of rupees 60,000 was settled by payment to Charu's brother's loan of the same amount. Now, Charu's brother's loan is what, my dear children? It's a third party liability. When you're settling a third party liability, which account will be debited? Just like when an asset goes out, realization account is credited. And therefore, when a liability is settled, when a third party liability is settled, realization account will be debited. Realization account debit to loan to Charu. Understood or not, my dear children? This can also be passed in two different entries. I'll tell you how you can do that. Anyway, loan to Charu is a asset, and you are because we have to collect money from Charu. We have given loan to Charu. Understood? So it's an asset. Loan from Charu is a liability. Loan to Charu is an asset, and asset is reducing. Therefore, we're crediting it. Loan to Charu set off against Charu's brother's loan. Understood? And that is how much? 60,000. So I'll tell you now how you can do this as two different entries. Now, loan to Charu was 60,000 rupees. Understood? The ideal journal entry for loan to Charu would be Charu's capital account debit to loan to Charu account. As I told you before, loan to partner will be transferred to the debit side of the partner's capital account. So to loan to Charu account, 60,000. And the second entry that you need to pass for this would be Charu is taking over her brother's loan. Am I right? So realization account debit to Charu's capital account. All right. Charu's capital account for 60,000 rupees. Understood or not, my dear children? So now basically what is happening in these two entries, Charu's capital is getting debited by 60,000 rupees and is getting credited by another 60,000 rupees. Am I right or not, my dear children? So what basically is left? The debit and credit cancel each other. Realization account debit to loan to Charu account. Only that is left. So the net effect of this entry is realization to loan to Charu. You can also think it like this. Charu's brother's loan is settled, which is a third party liability. So third party liability settled now, realization account will be debited. Loan to Charu is an asset. That asset is used to settle the third party liability. So the asset account is credited. Why are we not crediting realization account when the asset is realized? You're not going to credit realization account when the asset is realized because loan to partner and loan from partner are not transferred to realization account. Understood or not, my dear children? And therefore, they are not there in the realization account. So we will not use, though loan to Charu is an asset, we will not use realization account when it is getting settled. Understood or not? Or when you're closing it. Understood or not? And finally, what do we have, my dear children? The last transaction. Iknoor's loan of rupees 80,000 to the firm, and she took over the machinery of 60,000 as part payment. So she's only taken it as part payment. The most important part here is part payment. Understood or not, my dear children? So Iknoor has given a loan of 80,000 to the firm, for which she took over the machinery of rupees 60,000 as part payment. What is silent here is, as she has taken 60,000 machinery as part payment, the remaining 20,000 has been paid to her. Understood or not, my dear children? So the journal entry will be Iknoor's capital account debit. Sorry, Iknoor's loan account debit. Iknoor's loan account debit. It's a liability which has not been transferred to realization account. So that liability account will be debited to. He's taking machinery for 60,000 as part payment. Am I right? So to realization account, 60,000 to remaining 20,000 is paid through bank, which has been kept silent. So to bank account, 20,000. Understood or not, my dear children? So with this, we've come to the end of this problem. I have not passed the narration entries. I have not made the narrations. I hope you can do it by yourself. I think, would not require my help for that. So if there is any doubt, kindly go through this again, and then you will be able to understand. In case you are not able to understand even then, and if you have any doubts even after that, kindly do let me know. I will try to solve them. Through comments, I'll try to solve them for you through a different video and post a link in your comment. With that, we've come to the end of this video, my dear children. I hope to see you in another video with another question on the chapter Dissolution of Partnership Firms. All the best to you. Share, subscribe, like, all that, my dear children. Please. Bye-bye.